I was afraid that we will lose the know-how. In fact, I realized that you do not lose know-how, you are getting know-how. That's very much different. And I didn't realize that at the very beginning. The cooperation really moved us forward in the knowledge, in the style of work. And this brought us also advantage against the competition. It doesn't exist on the market at all. Of course, such an application is similar in different industries, but not in a warning equipment. Sales arguments are really strong for it. So it really gives us an advantage for selling and for promoting the product. We recognize that there is no problem with the distance between our company and the ASN Plus. It doesn't matter if it's 2 hours or 10 hours drive, because the meetings were in fact online. It was very big motivation also for our team, because we were at the stage when they were bored by the work. Second big advantage, communication. It's simply perfect. I really appreciate the communication with Mr. Bashtan on my high-level position, when I do not care about the particular steps, but for me is important the result and of course the costs, which are manageable and monitorable.
Hello, my name is František Vrbovský and I would like to welcome you here at ASN Plus. We are a development company, which means we develop hardware, firmware and applications for our customers. We are able to help you with development of the entire ecosystem, or for example device, the whole device, or we can help you with some kind of a small steps like remote firmware update and these things. Actually, we are here with Zdenek Holomy, so
Hi,
welcome here.
Thank
and thank you that you've come along to our company.
It's a pleasure.
And we would like to have a discussion on a topic how to extend the development capacities, because you have your own development capacities. So how to extend these capacities by an external developer such as our company.
Right.
So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for the invitation.
Okay, so I have a first question. Could you, I would say, shortly or briefly present your company? What do you do?
Right, company Holomy is manufacturer of the warning equipment for priority vehicles, which means in human words,
okay,
light bars, sirens, beacons for police, for ambulance, and for the fire trucks.
Okay.
Also two-way trucks in the amber market.
So every time the police car or something goes and it blinks in red or blue, it could be your device that you are
right.
developing.
Our market share is quite significant in the Czech Republic and Slovakia. So we have quite many competitors in Europe, but the world is quite small. And on the other hand, so you cannot find manufactured in every single European country.
Okay.
The competition is based in Germany, France, let's say Sweden, Poland. But for example, in Czech Republic and Slovakia, we are the only manufacturer based in these countries.
Okay, okay.
Our main advantage is flexibility of the production and or fulfilling the customer's requirements, which is thanks to our production equipment we have inside the factory, starting with the metal workshop, fully automated SMT line for assembling the PC boards, up to assembly of the complete products. This allows us to fulfill every single requirements of the customers. We don't care if it's a 1 light bar or 100 with the special requirements for the functionality. We are always welcome customers for their requests, and the main difference between us and the importers, for example, in the Czech Republic, because the competition are only importing companies, is that we are solution provider. So we provide them a complete full set of services, starting from the connection drawings of the vehicle up to technical service and the support during the installation of the vehicles.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. So actually you are the only Czech, like the only company of this type in the Czech Republic, and all the other solutions are like imported.
Yeah, we call them box movers.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's funny. Could you tell me who are your like typical customers? Are there like really, for example, the police of the Czech Republic, or is it much more the manufacturer of the vehicles?
Yeah, well, end users is the police,
Okay.
but the customer whom we sell our products are the upfitting companies. So yeah, the companies which are upfitting these vehicles for police, for mountain rescue systems, for ambulances, for fire trucks.
Okay, okay. What are the countries where we can find your products?
Well, our main market is based in Czech Republic and Slovakia. However, you can find our products spread across the Europe in Germany, Austria, Netherlands, Greece, Poland, Spain, Iceland, for example. From foreign countries, I mean, across the sea, you can find them in Saudi Arabia, in Senegal, in Algeria, where we supplied police cars along with the Škoda Auto company.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
that's nice. So another Czech product.
Yes, and these exports are mostly indirect. So we supply it to the upfitting company or to manufacture the car, and it exports the car to that countries overseas. I mean, across the Europe, we are distributing directly.
Okay, that's very interesting. Just for my curiosity, how many, I would say, pieces of your devices do you produce every year, for example?
I would say it in a sets. So we can say it's around 2,000 sets of the warning equipment, and then thousands of the little small pieces of the parts of it. So every single test set might consist of 12 to 20 different equipments. So that's
kind of quite a high number, actually.
Yeah. Our turnover is like 6.5 million euro.
Okay. Thank you. I know that we've been, I would say, developing for you or cooperating in development for maybe more than a year. So actually, what was your situation before you addressed us?
Well, we introduced our previous set of warning equipment for police cars, let's say, and for fire trucks in 2014. At that time, very modern, with all that functions which customers required at that time. During the time, since 2014 until 2019-20, the number of functions has risen dramatically, which means that for one function at this system, we have a discrete wire that creates quite thin or robust wire harness which you need in the car. It takes a long time to install it. It's quite complicated to control it. And within that time, we have found that the customers are calling us, would you have something simpler for the installations?
Yes.
Would you have something what would allow us to be serviceable over the air? For remote update of the setup, for example. So in 2020-21, we started to talk inside the company about potential requirements for new generation of equipment.
Okay, so in 2020 or 2021, you started to have a discussion.
Yes.
How to do it? So were you considering to do it internally before you addressed external company, or what was the process?
Yeah, we never used external company before. Never. So all the development has been done only internally by our R&D department.
Okay. So where have you decided to address?
Well, our guys in R&D have searched a possibility for remote updating of the firmware at the very beginning. I was strictly against it. I didn't want to cooperate with external company at point one, and I was skeptical about need of the remote update of the firmware. But the life we learned a lot about the costs related to going around the customers for servicing and updating the firmware.
So it was your company who were coming along, who were coming to the customer sites for the firmware update or something?
Yes. We have 4 technicians who are all the time sitting in a car and going around the country, not only updating the firmware, of course. They need to fix some failures, replacing speakers, faulty light heads, etc. But technically, yes, they also do an updating of the firmware, which in the fact is a quite quick operation. but
Okay.
you need to take time to drive 300 kilometers to see the
Yeah,
customer.
yeah. So it's much more time demanding because like the operation it's quite fast, but you have to come to the site of the customer where you
Exactly.
can
So you waste a lot of
process
time.
it. Okay. So why were you against like this kind of integration of this feature of the remote
I
firmware
was
update?
skeptical because I thought that it will be like 100% of the vehicles will be on air updated at a
Okay.
time, which might cause a huge problem if there would be a kind of trouble or failure or mistake in the
Yeah.
firmware. And the second thing I was against because of cooperation with the external company. I was afraid that we will lose the know-how.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that
So
was-
some kind of a company will steal your know-how and they will, for example, do it on their own.
That's
Okay.
what I was afraid of
Uh-huh.
at the very beginning.
Okay. And it didn't happen.
No,
Yeah.
no. In fact, I realized
Fortunate.
that you do not lose know-how. You are getting know-how. You get the know-how from the external company.
Yeah.
That's very much difference. And I didn't realize that at the very beginning.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Actually, as you mentioned, yeah, because you have like your internal know-how about your product and your technologies, and if you go to the external company who is, I would say, a professional in the development, they have like a very different variety of the know-how and very different, I would say, persons who are specializing in the firmware. Others are specialized in the hardware. Others are specialized themselves in the application. So actually, you can gain a lot of the know-how and of a lot of the companies. I would say quite bigger team.
I can confirm this because the external team has a much wider overview about different tasks. We are quite small in a matter of R&D department. We have 4 people there, and they all are specialized for everything. So for hardware, firmware, software, everything needs to be covered by them. So we are limited in a capacities, of course, and in the number of wide and informations which you can get.
Yeah, definitely. If somebody is like specialized in all of the fields, I would say it has to have like the other side, which they usually can't go like very deep in all of the things, like because for example in our company we have like hardware engineers who are really doing the hardware. They are definitely cooperating with the firmware engineers and these, but they are really specializing themselves in the hardware, so that's why they can go like really deep and they can like learn on all of the things and they can like really specialize themselves in the hardware, same as the firmware and same as the application engineers. Okay, could you tell me how the process started? Like in I would say that we were starting by the workshop maybe in December or something the year before, so we have been cooperating maybe for 15 months or something. So could you describe me a little bit how did this happen?
As I noticed, I was not a fan of it, so after all I said good. We had 2 or 3 internal meetings when we discussed it quite loudly, let's say. And after all, I said, okay, let's do the workshop. It was paid workshop. So so I was not really optimistic. But at the end of the workshop, I was full of optimism and I was impressed by enthusiasm of Mr. Bashtan, who came to us by his ideas about possible solutions of our problem, of our task, and his knowledge of the technology which is available, proposals how this and that could be solved. So I not only decided to start the project, I also asked him if he would be willing to lead the project as a project manager, because I was really surprised by his abilities.
So you were convinced that we have the know-how you want or you need for the project, I would say, to proceed greatly. And secondly, you wanted Ondřej Bašťan, who is our solution architect in general, to be the project lead of your solution.
Exactly. It was very big motivation also for our team, because we were at the stage when they were bored by the work. There was nothing new coming. And they told me, let's give us a task to do in a modern technology. And this was excellent way how to follow this way. because you brought us to very different style of work by having weekly meetings, online meetings with the ASN Plus, where we recognize that there is no problem with the distance between our company and the ASN Plus. It doesn't matter if it's 2 hours or 10 hours drive, because the meetings were in fact online. It helped us a lot in changing the style of work of the R&D department.
Okay, so actually, as you are mentioning, the cooperation is like full remotely. So we develop it like in our offices, and all the communication is going like remotely with your company. Do you find it like, I would say, maybe kind of a problem in any ways, or do you think that it's something that really worked and were no problems with it?
Technically, no problem. In the mind of my guys, it had to be changed. I mean, they never worked like that.
Okay.
So it took them a while to
get used to it.
Yes, because being prepared for next meeting, to have all the tasks which has been assigned to you ready before the meeting, that was something what they didn't know from previous style of work. We had the style like, this is a task, do it, and once you have it ready, finished, give me a report and I will talk to you. This is much better, much more precise, and you have a higher control.
Yeah, and definitely save a lot of time by really commuting to the site of the developer, and this, I think that it's much more efficient regarding the time, at least, to really have the discussions on air, like via Teams or Google Meets or something, and you can address everything like really in an online world or online way to discuss the things. So actually, it's much more, I would. Because like the ordinary way in the past was that the people were really going for example, the key days or discussion days to the company of the developer, and they had to spend some time on via commuting and traveling. Then they had to spend the time on the site, which is definitely good for building the relationships and these things. Because when you use like the online way, it's not every time as strong as a personal interview, like interview in the person. But regarding the technical things and these things, there are actually no boundaries, so
exactly,
you can deal with everything. Yeah. So you would say that it was tough from the beginning for your guys from the development team to start or to get used to this kind of the design of the communication, but after it they had no problem with that.
Exactly, and they after all they appreciated the cooperation with the ASN Plus, because the cooperation really moved us forward in the knowledge, in the style of work, using GitHub to be, parallelized in the work.
So they can both take a look at the same code and the same information which are in these shared services. Okay, great. So let's get a little deeper to the solution. I know that we designed for you a communication module which has the possibility, or I would say the feature, of the remote firmware update. Is it correct?
Right. In fact, the product will be at final customers, let's say within 2 or 3 months from now. And I don't see only this as an advantage of the cooperation with the ASN Plus. If we would only do this, it would take 3 or 4 months. We did a different task with you, or a different job. As you mentioned, it's like 15 months which we cooperate with. And the reason is that we decided not only to give you this work to be done by 100% you. We wanted to learn from you know-how, and that's when we are at the know-how that we in fact get a know-how. No, we didn't lose any. So they learned a new style of programming, the new style of designing the products, of cooperation, and the advantages of the product itself, which has been developed, is a scalability, similar PCB, similar components, possibility of the remote update and control, and saving our future costs in servicing of such an equipment.
Yeah, definitely.
And the configuration at the customer. I can supply him this module as a black box, and he will decide then what it will be controlling, which setup. We will do a pre-setups. for example, fire truck has a different setups for flashing,
Okay.
flash patterns.
Yeah.
It means like red, red, blue, blue, or all red, all blue. And this can be set nowadays by quite complicated setting all the single devices on the vehicle.
Okay.
Using your application and the modules, which we have now available in every single device and on the fire truck, we simply scan the vehicle and select change this flash pattern, and it will be possible to change it. If it will be a serviceman, he can come to the car, to the truck, and say, I need to do a diagnostic. He will be able to do diagnostic and know what's wrong with that and that device.
Okay.
And we can also get that information remotely and try to help him to resolve it. On the side.
So like the service and the maintenance, it seems like the solution has consolidated. So it has, I would say, simpler maintenance. And secondly, setting of maybe the features like the light, which is blinking and these things, actually it can be done through the app. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so the app will be like owned by the, I would say, service partners, or it's part of the solution that the customers will receive?
It will not be available to anyone. We will have a secured access to the different levels of access to the app. So as I said, end user, let's say, will be allowed to change homologated flash pattern. Service partner will be able to make a diagnostics and updating the firmware, for example. And we are talking now about the flashing, about the lights, but imagine the sirens. We can change the siren tones. We can change the way how to control it. Duration of low frequency siren operation, etc. So this can be done without a touch of the device.
That's really nice. So actually, it sounds like you've moved really your product to a higher level by the simplification of the process of really remote firmware update. Secondly, like really the hardware solution, it's simply regarding like the platform which is unified. And thirdly, actually the possibility of setting all the features via the phone app or mobile app, it gets
exactly. And this brought us also advantage against the competition.
So we do not have solutions such as this.
It doesn't exist on the market at all. Of course, such an application is similar in different industries, but not in a warning equipment. So the sales arguments are really strong for it. So it really gives us, for certain time until they do it by themselves, an advantage for selling and for promoting the products.
Okay, so it sounds like a really big competitive advantage if the solution has like these features and the others don't. I think that it would be a really good, I would say, starting point to doing like to bring like the solutions over the borders as well. Maybe much more. Okay, thanks a lot. So let's get to the design of the cooperation. Could you, because as I mentioned, we've been cooperating about maybe 15 months or something, so we have I would say a lot of experience with the communication, with the development style, how we do it at these. Could you give us maybe a little more information about how do you evaluate the cooperation, or how do you look at it in this kind of a bigger scale?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned previously, the biggest advantage I see in willing of the ASN Plus to pass over a know-how which they already had to our guys, to R&D. Second big advantage, communication. It's simply perfect. So our R&D is communicating periodically with your team on steps which needs to be done, if they are done, how it should be worked, about the evaluation and etc. I really appreciate the communication with Mr. Bashtan on my high-level position when I do not care about the particular steps, but for me is important the result and of course the costs, which are manageable and monitorable.
So from my point, I would like to give you a compliment. I would like to appreciate your innovative thinking, because you decided to go in a way which is which is not being done, and it has not a precedence in this kind of a field. So actually, it's tough sometimes to go in a different way and to do the innovation of the existing products. A lot of the companies who has a history, they want to do it in the same way, and sometimes the competitors are gaining an edge before them because they do the innovation. So actually, I would like to appreciate your innovative attitude, and I wish you that you and your company will benefit from this new features and new way of thinking about the product.
Yeah, I also do not regret that we started the cooperation with ASN Plus, and I believe that we will keep going in a cooperation with you for quite a long time, because there are many ideas of extending the features and benefits of such solution. I would say environment, which we made a basis of, like centralized control systems for ambulances, for HVAC. It means controlling of the temperature control inside, combining air cooling and heating, about the controlling the energy flow in the vehicle, and the many other functions, sensing of the light bars on the field, which is another quite wide topic to be taken off. So I really do not regret, and I thank you for the style, how you convinced me that it's good move in our company.
Okay, so the things or the features that you were mentioning are the development plans maybe for the future of your company.
Right. Touch screens, control panels. I would say it like complete environment of the centralized control of the, not only police car, of the ambulance, of the fire truck.
Okay, it sounds very interesting. Actually, if some of your potential customers or really exact customers will watch this video, where they can take a look at your products, or how can they address you?
Well, on our webpage, on our Facebook, so we are available on social media. They can look there on the videos and the products which we offer. Not all of them are published, because many, as I mentioned at the beginning, many products are customized, and that's what we do, customize solutions for our customers.
Okay. So we'll definitely put a link under this video so you can take a look at the web pages of company Holomy as well. So I think that we are at the end of this interview. So I think that we've fulfilled all the topics and discussed everything. So I'd like to thank you again for the time and the effort. I know that the interviews in English are sometimes more demanding than in Czech. Actually, it's for me as well, as I'm not a native speaker of the English. So I'd like to thank you for all your energy and enthusiasm regarding this.
Thank you for having me here, and I'm looking forward for cooperation.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'd like to thank you as well, the viewers of this video. So that's the end of this video. And actually, we are preparing more and more of the videos in the interesting topics. So actually, you can like this video, and you can click on the subscribe of this video, and you will get much more information about new coming videos.